as much as I love the left, as much as I enjoy being on the side of at least decent moral standings, there's one thing I have a problem with. How often the conversation that happens in the left is formed by a very small group of people. Because when these small groups of people get something wrong, the entirety of the discourse focuses on how they got that wrong as opposed to the actual things being discussed. Now, that's a tongue twister, that's a mind bender, whatever. But when you start narrowing in on the topics themselves, you can see what I mean. There is a conversation, the original conversation, let's put it that way. The original conversation that I first joined in on when it came to LGBTQ people and the left was always about being the place of inclusivity, creating the safe space, and pressuring or putting the pressure on political figures to recognize the community and to protect their rights. That's the broad overview of what should be the conversation in this world. As I've said in a previous stream, funny that this is going to link together with that. When you have these conversations, you have to talk about social considerations. For a lot of people, sadly, seeing two gay people kiss on the street is going to repulse them. The moment I say that, you would say, well, who cares what they think? Just we live for who we live, right? There's no, who cares what they think? Right. But bringing that up forces the conversation into that rabbit hole. So the very first thing I was introduced to that people didn't understand was pedophilia. Because the literal definition of it would revolve around a certain age. A 19-year-old going out with a 17-year-old is not pedophilia. This is obvious. Oh, that might get me banned. I'm not supposed to say that word, aren't I? I don't know. I don't care. Stop conflating the words. But the conversation got lower than that. That part of the discourse and getting that wrong and all the different little subtexts that can form from that, whatever. But we know that white people like to use that as the catalyst for their argument against trans people. This is obvious. They used to do it for gay people. They used to do it for anybody with a different sexual orientation and or view on gender than them, right? This is obvious. When the conversation got on to anime, I really lost it. All right, now I'm gonna launch into just being mad. You motherfuckers really was sitting there talking about, oh, in this cartoon, she has big breasts, and that means that she's being drawn and pictured as a child. So if you like that, you're a child diddler. Like, oh, in the anime, they said she's 7. So, like, you talk about Billie Eilish like she's a grown-ass woman, and you're so worried about what she was wearing and everything as a child, right? Like, you see the difference? Like, what made me think about this entire thing was Millie Bobby Brown. I had just seen her not Vogue, oh, God. I seen her Emmy Awards dress, or like there was the Emmys or whatever, or an award show. It was an award show. And she was wearing a dress. Dress is normal. Dress is fine. Dress is great. And people were like, that dress is a little too grown for her. So now I have to go out of my way to explain why this dress is not grown. Because I, as a normal functioning human being, do not see a 15-year-old and be like, I can describe 23-year-old aesthetics out of her. You are choosing to see it that way. Because you are sick. You are choosing to see it that way. Because you are sick in the head. And leftists do this shit all the time when it comes to the LGBTQ community. Every time. Every time. You go into this mode where you start discussing the intricate details of something, and you use that to say, well, the broad view is fine, but if we just couldn't do this or that, or show off this or that, people would be more accepting of it. You literally are saying it needs to be whitewashed for other people to accept it, which goes back to what I said earlier. They don't like seeing gay people kiss. You're going to eliminate that so that way they can get comfortable enough, then we can move to that step, or you want to incrementalize something that other people are doing already. You want to have a conversation pointed at certain directions, which forces me to have the conversation in those directions when we shouldn't be talking about it, because I don't see like 15-year-olds as adults, but you do. So then this happened. So the whole conversation ended up like revolving around kinks at Pride. And they were like, yo, look, maybe we shouldn't have that around children. Maybe you do that on your off time. And everybody was saying in the background, like, that's what happens anyway. Why are you saying that this is happening around children? And they're saying, but I see like a couple crazies out there and people are going to judge us by our worst. And it's like, see what I mean about the discourse? So just cancel Pride then. Cancel the whole month. You are willing to see the point get diluted and agree with the people who hate everybody on this side because a few indecent. You should see what happens at Mardi Gras. Straight people don't revolt and turn gay after that. Like, it's gonna happen. I'm sorry. You can put a better lid on it. You can make it more of a political stance that like you don't accept that in public play, whatever. But like you look, now I'm doing it. See? 7 minutes in. Now the point of my discourse is to explain to you how you're insane, because I have to sexualize or contextualize the sexual nature of what you're talking about to even begin to have a conversation with you. Oh my God, that cartoon is 14. You're all right, my guy, but like that girl can also kick boulders. And like that, and like literally is the protect. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're choosing to see it that way. You're debating the conversation on your terms. I cannot say anything here. I can't. What am I supposed to say? Hey kids, it's really important for the queer community to remember that Pride is not a kinky event. It's a celebration of love, not about sex. And if you show up in leathers, you're a danger to children. So there's, the leather daddy thing where they like wear the leather straps and they have the hat on and then no shirt and they got like the white pants or whatever, the black really skinny pants. That's fine. Shirtless men are fine. But then there's like, I don't want to describe it on stream or whatever, but then there's like the mask with the thing in the front, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, don't do that around kids. Nobody's doing that. Like, see? The conversation is now in your, like, where is my point where is my position? My position on what you're asking me about is there. My position on the topic as a whole is over here. Is over there. Anyway, to literally put case in point here, kid literally is like, oh, guys acting like dogs, adults can play pretend and dress up too? How fun is probably all she's thinking, and she's right. We need to normalize this. There's nothing sexual going on. In fact, it's kind of precious. And I'm like, damn it. If being a fascist is not wanting fetish shit around literal children, call me Adolf Hitler, you weirdo. And look at the conversation. We've reduced the entirety of Pride Month to this. This is the left. Children are exposed to violent imagery all day and night long, but God forbid they see someone in a thong. LMA. LMAO, you prude. Won't someone think of the children? Okay, they're boomer. Wow. Sex is not an adult topic. Kink is not an adult topic. There are some incredibly kinky children out there. Excluding kink from queer spaces tells these kids that who they are is wrong, just as much as excluding trans or gay people would. Protect the children. Protect kink. Oh my God. Y'all are sick fucking human beings. Leftists, you engage in conversation that literally drives home 0 points. I get it. We are in power now. Focus on what's important. And I really mean focus on what's important. Because for every problem that exists in America, there is an actual tangible solution that could be passed tomorrow. Yes, I said it out loud, and oh boy, I can't wait to get canceled for this. There are actual tangible solutions to all, and I mean every problem, including the race problem. Like, there are tangible solutions that could be enacted tomorrow. Now, obviously, it's going to take months and years for all these things to like trickle down into the offices and whatnot. Like, duh. But there are things to focus on. When you keep dividing the conversation into these weird little nuggets, that's the information that makes people think you're nuts. Like, why do you care about this thing? You see Millie Bobby Brown in a fashion dress and you're like, that dress is a little too adult for her. Why do you picture that and see somebody you could have sex with? Why do men decide all of a sudden on the 18th birthday? Like, she wasn't just 17 like a few minutes ago. You magically think on the birthday age, they just morph into a fucking like adult. What society does. For in Japan culture, turning 20 is a big deal. Here it's turning 18. Funny how the age of consent lands with one of our biggest That's funny. That's real funny. Leftists, this shit is weird, bro. I have to spend time to say why that's wrong. That's not a major part of this conversation. You see how weird it is? Yes, I'm a living contradiction. I could have just ignored it. Maybe we should just, I don't know, ask the kid. They're way smarter than we give them credit for. Maybe just ask if they're comfortable with it. Like, this isn't a hard solution to reach. People acting like we're screwing their eyes open. Oh my God. I think it is about the importance of consent in kink and using it to teach children to establish. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. And then who was the real weirdo? Somebody had said something really weird. Hold on. And then it was the real... Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, the day has finally come where I am covering Vosh in a nonsensical manner. Vosh said, kink at Pride makes people uncomfortable and makes the event less accessible when accessibility should be a priority. Keep less family-friendly stuff to the many, many after parties and adjacent private venues every Pride has. The fact that this is controversial is insane to me. Hey, Vosh. It's not. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. But do you see what I mean about how the left eats itself with these types of conversations? If this was never posted, I'm fair to say a bunch of other people would not be talking about it. Like, who do you know who... And then it's the spin around like, what type of kinks? Are we knocking out certain aspects of it that are not completely around the bend? Why are we talking about it? What does this have to do with any? You now, okay, pride is an acceptable thing. Now let's chip away at it so more people can get into it. Like, they don't like it, period. There is no purity that is ever going to come to pride that is ever going to make the majority of people comfortable. Yeah, I'm sorry. Not until maybe next generation. I think that in the next 50 to 100 years, none of this will be talked about. It'll all be commonplace. Pride should be a cool, queer-friendly block party you can attend to meet with organizers and get cute shirts. Everyone should be able to attend. It should be safe and uncontroversial. This missing accessibility and sanitation is a really underhanded and discussing strategy. I understand that, but again, that repeats to now we have to have the discourse even further down. If you want something more spicy, there are a billion places for that, blah, blah, blah. People claiming pride has always been some antagonistic, accessible rioter actively fighting against the normalization of queer people by fetishizing the aesthetic of their oppression. You guys are the tools of the establishment. Don't say you want pride to evolve unless you're also willing to keep the public's acceptance of pride from evolving. Damn, okay. Okay, this was, yeah. Damn, somebody got clapped up. Why? Oh, yeah. This is, yeah. Why are people talking about kink and pride as if the gays are fucking in the streets or forcing minors through some cringe Rocky Horror style initiation? This discourse is just giving a lot of people an excuse to act weird about kink and BDSM. Because they had to move the goalposts to get mad at mostly fabricated scenarios. Oh my God, I said it out loud. I've spent the last 10 minutes talking about this and it's in one tweet. As they were losing to let people wear leather harnesses, part of the argument from the other day. Someone said it better than me. Sock them Zoomers reinvent. Like, yo, that's literally what I'm talking about. Like, literally for word. What the fuck is going on? What are y'all talking about? Like you really act like it's one big orgy in the streets. Like, thank you. Straights didn't want us at their table. We made our own table. Now we're being told to behave at the table we made so that the people who shunned us from the table can enjoy our table. Hey, you seem really low information on this topic, so let me inform you. Family-friendly pride events exist. Take your kids there. Like, which... I hate this. I hate that. That's so much bullshit. Oh my God. Like, accessibility. Anybody who is LGBTQ friendly or exists in the community knows that exists. Knows that exists. Are you saying that as a major form of contestation within the thought process of what's going on here is actually a problem? Why are we talking about this? The accessibility factor is one thing. Can we get them to stop passing anti-trans laws? Gay people got the right to marry after the year 2000. Let's focus on that. Anything else? Final point, leftists, please, I'm begging you. Touch grass!